So, good evening. I'm here to talk about non-alcoholic beer. At the moment, I'm not drinking. I've not drunk for 2 years now, and it's rubbish. And what it means is that I'm always looking out for something tasty to drink. Generally, I drink stuff that doesn't try and replace alcohol because they're usually crap. But in the summer particularly, I am missing a good beer. You know, when it's hot outside, there's something really refreshing from a beer that you don't get from a cordial or a smoothie or anything else. So I've been trying out non-alcoholic beers, and I've done this as a public service because there's a lot of crap out there basically. So I've got a couple of keepers for you. So I thought I'd do a quick video, talk you through what I've tried and where you can get them from and what you should be trying and what you should be avoiding. This is by Brewdog and it's called a Nanny State. So it's a low alcohol, it's 0.05%, and look at that, it's like a proper beer colour. And this is my benchmark for non-alcoholic beers because it tastes good. It tastes like a proper beer. It tastes like something I'd drink a few of and come home tipsy and eat crisps. But I won't because it's 0.5 or 0.5%. But it's got a good IPA taste to it. It's very hoppy. It's got a really good nose to it as well. And I think the big test for this is that my husband says he does drink these. So we've usually got a few of these in the fridge now because you can get them from the supermarket. And he'll happily drink these and not miss the beer in them. So I think that's a really good thing. So it's Nanny State, it's from Brewdog. They're about $1.25 in the supermarket, $1.30. Get them in Sainsbury's, you can get them in Tesco, and they've started doing 4 packs, which is great. Take them to a party, no one knows you're not really drinking. Yeah, so Brewdog, this is my benchmark beer. So I'm going to start with these two. So we've got Maisels Weiss and oh crikey, Weisse Hell, both German obviously. The Weisse Hell, in fact I think both of them are 0%, I think. Let me just have a quick look. That one says less than 0.5. Yeah, they both do, so they're both not 0% in effect, both German. Now I like wheat beer. I'm a big Hoegaarden fan when I do drink, and this one, so the Maisels Weiss, actually was quite Hoegaarden-y really. Obviously a weaker version of, but quite refreshing. Big bottle, it's like a 500ml, and that's probably enough for me really. And I used to have this problem with Hoegaarden, in that you can't drink loads of it. It gets a little bit sweet after a while. What I should have done is squeeze some lime in it, and I forgot, because the thing with non-alcoholic beers is you tend to chug them. So I think that with a bit of lime, freezing cold, it's really good. One's enough, half a litre, you know, it'll take you half an hour or so to drink that, and it's okay. This one on the other hand, so the Weisse Hell, I just thought it was a bit dull, and that's the problem. It's a bit of a recurring theme, as you'll see. So in terms of wheat beers, there is a Paulaner one as well, which I've not got here. You can get it in the supermarket. Don't bother. It calls itself like isotonic. It's just pap really. So wheat beers, I would say Maisels Weiss is the one for you. So moving on to some Belgian beers actually. So the brand is Jupiler, and I've got 2 of their beers here, and my note for that one has fallen in, which is really unhelpful. So they've got 2. I've got a 0 alcohol one and a low alcohol one, so again it's 0.5. So I was expecting quite a lot from these Jupilers because, you know, them Belgians are good at making beer. This one's blonde, and I do like a blonde beer, but to be honest, and I don't even need to take the note out because I can see on that one I've written nothing is the word I've written on, and this one I think I just wrote dull. Double check. Oh yeah, 0 alcohol, 0 taste. Yeah, there was nothing to them. It's really hard to tell you about them when there's nothing to them. Sorry Belgium, you know, I love your chocolate work dudes, but there's a long way to go on the non-alcoholic beers, I'm afraid, so they were a no from me. then we got Superbock. So Superbock is a Pilsner. Anyway, it's not important. It's not important because again, it was just dull. There was a vague Pilsner-esque taste about it, but definitely nothing to write home about and nothing that would make me want to buy it again. This one's 0 alcohol. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe it needs that tiny little bit to give it a bit of a kick up the arse. I'm not sure. Yeah. Oh, Portugal. Sorry, Portugal. Superbock. And I think when I was in Portugal, I drank Superbock, proper lager, and it was alright. So, you know, there's no excuse if you've got a brewery and you're making good beers. You should be able to make a half decent non-alcoholic beer. Brewdog can do it. Come on, Portugal, get your act together. But moving on. Cheers. Yeah. Let's have a look. Cerveja. Cheers. This is a 0.5% alcohol. It is from Portugal again. Now then, interestingly, this I really liked. It was, and it's a shame really, there's none left to show you. It was like a ruby ale. It was quite dark. Had a really good ale-y taste to it, so it wasn't like fizzy lager. It had a bit more about it than that. Quite a good flavour actually, and in fact we both really like this. Andrew actually, I think probably it would be his number one, maybe above the Brewdog even. I think for me the Brewdog just noses it, but it's a very worthy second. So I'll come back to this in a little while and tell you where you can buy it from. Well done, Portugal. And then we've got Ambar. Now this one's interesting because it's 0 alcohol, but it's also gluten-free. This was this was the first one I tried actually, other than the Brewdog. This was I bought a selection, and this was the first one of those, and it was all right. It was like a very refreshing lager. So it was a very hot day. We had a bit of a heat wave a few weeks ago. It was like high 20s. Got this out the fridge when I got home from work. We both shared it, and it was really refreshing. Actually, it would make a really good shandy, which it might seem weird making a non-alcoholic beer into a shandy, but I do find shandies really refreshing. Ultimately, it is fizzy lager, so if you like, you know, if lager is your drink rather than beer, then I would say go for this. If you're gluten-free, I would say go for this. What's that? Okay, I'm losing my spot now. Oh, so another Cheers one. Uh-oh, which was which? Another Cheers one. I need to check which is which. Tasted a bit funny. Was it this one? We'll say so. So it was a bit, had a funny smell, had a funny taste, a bit like fermenting fruit and not in a good fruit beer kind of way. So yeah, I'd say avoid that at all costs. Ah, Jiva Fun. I was very sceptical of anything that had the name Fun in it. It's like, do you know those people that go, oh, I'm crazy me. This is like the alcohol-free beer equivalent. So this is an alcohol-free Pilsner. Now, Andrew quite liked this, I think. Let me just remind myself. Yes, he did. Andrew thought that this, as Pilsners go, was alright. Neither as a particularly big Pilsner drinkers, but he thought that was quite acceptable. I didn't really, but then I'm not a big Pilsner fan, which begs the question, why did I buy two? There you go. Never call yourself fun. It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not big and it's not clever. It's not fun. That's it. The only other one I want to tell you about is so Innis and Gunn, Scottish, make very good bottled lagers that are cask aged, a bit like with whiskey. So you get, there's a rum edition and something else and something else, and I quite like their lagers. So they brought out a non-alcoholic called Innocent Non, which I thought was quite witty, but I was a bit disappointed in it. That's another supermarket one, but they put ginseng in it and it's just a bit sweet. There seems to be a bit of a thing about adding ginseng or vitamin C to non-alcoholic drinks and then calling them isotonic or whatever, so steer clear. So the two really are Brewdog Nanny State, really good IPA. I reckon I could give this to people at a party, or you know, when they come over and they probably wouldn't realise they were drinking a non-alcoholic beer. So as I said, we buy these in Sainsbury's. They do a 4-pack now, which is great value as well. You get them in Tesco's, and obviously you can buy them online and stuff. And then this fella, which may or may not be the correct one, because there's two, so I need to check. So the Cheers Ruby Ale, there's a shop in Manchester called the Alcohol Free Shop, and it's great. So if you live in Manchester, if you go down Oldham Road past Wing Yip supermarket and keep going out of town, it's on an industrial estate on the left, and you go in and on down one wall it's loads of non-alcoholic beers and ciders, and then on the other wall it's wines, which is dreadful, don't even go there, that's a whole other story. So it's worth popping in. I probably bought, I bet they had 15-20 beers on offer, and did I get about 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, there was another one actually that was so bad I didn't even bother keeping the bottle. So yeah, there's probably a few more, and they order online. You can order by the crate, you can order mixed crates, and they do ciders as well, which last time I checked, non-alcoholic cider was apple juice, so that's a bit confusing. And they do some non-alcoholic cocktails, so it's worth having a look if you're in the area, or like I say, have a look online. And there are other box schemes as well that do non-alcoholic boxes, so again, have a look, and if you find something, hold on to it dearly, never let it go, because these, as you can see, there's quite a big selection, and I've come out of it with 2. So if there's anything you think I should be trying, do let me know. Otherwise, it's the Brewdog, it's the Chivas Cheers, and yeah, let me know what you think. If there's any non-alcoholic beers out there I should be trying, I would love to hear from you. Alright, thanks very much, and I'll see you soon.